Ubuntu is often the first Linux distribution people hear about, and for good reason. It made Linux approachable, polished, and accessible at a time when many other distros felt intimidating. But here's the truth most Linux users eventually discover: Ubuntu is not the best Linux distribution for everyone, and in many cases, it's not even the best choice at all. Once you step outside the Ubuntu bubble, you realize the Linux ecosystem is far richer, more flexible, and in many ways far more powerful than Ubuntu alone suggests. Today, we're going to explore Linux distributions that many users consider better than Ubuntu, depending on what you value: performance, stability, control, privacy, simplicity, or cutting-edge software. This isn't about hating Ubuntu. It's about understanding your options and choosing a distro that actually fits how you think and how you work. Let's start with why people begin to look beyond Ubuntu in the first place. Ubuntu is based on Debian and uses a fixed release cycle with long-term support versions every 2 years. While this brings predictability, it also means older software versions, heavy reliance on snap packages, and Canonical making design decisions that don't always align with the wider Linux community. Many users feel Ubuntu has become bloated, slower on older hardware, and increasingly opinionated in ways that reduce user choice. Once you hit these pain points, you naturally start asking, is there something better? For many, the first stop after Ubuntu is Linux Mint. Mint is based on Ubuntu but deliberately strips away what many users dislike. It replaces Snap with traditional package management by default, uses a familiar desktop layout, and prioritizes stability and ease of use. Linux Mint feels like what people expected Ubuntu to remain: simple, fast, and respectful of user control. The Cinnamon desktop offers a classic workflow that Windows users adapt to instantly, while Mate and XFCE options cater to lighter systems. Mint doesn't chase trends. It focuses on making your system quietly reliable. For everyday desktop users who want Ubuntu's stability without Ubuntu's baggage, Mint often feels like a clear upgrade. Then there's Debian itself, Ubuntu's parent. Debian is legendary for its stability and strict commitment to free software principles. If Ubuntu sometimes feels like a corporate product, Debian feels like a community-driven operating system built with care and patience. Software versions are older, yes, but they are extremely well-tested. Debian systems can run for years without issues, making them ideal for servers, workstations, and users who value reliability above all else. Debian also gives you more transparency and less vendor influence. For many experienced users, Debian is real Linux in its purest form, and Ubuntu is just a convenient shortcut built on top of it. If you care more about fresh software and modern features than long-term stability, Fedora often stands out as a better choice than Ubuntu. Fedora is sponsored by Red Hat and acts as a testing ground for technologies that eventually shape the Linux ecosystem. It's usually the first major distro to adopt new kernels, file systems, display servers, and desktop innovations. Fedora feels clean, modern, and thoughtfully integrated. Unlike Ubuntu, it sticks closely to upstream projects, meaning fewer custom patches and more predictable behavior. GNOME on Fedora is often considered the best GNOME experience available. For developers, creators, and tech enthusiasts who want to stay close to the cutting edge without sacrificing too much stability, Fedora frequently beats Ubuntu hands down. Arch Linux represents a completely different philosophy, and for many users, it's the moment they truly understand Linux. Arch isn't designed to be easy. It's designed to be simple in concept but demanding in execution. You install only what you need, configure everything yourself, and learn how your system actually works. The reward is a lightweight, incredibly fast system with the latest software available through rolling releases. Arch's package manager, Pacman, is fast and efficient, and the Arch user repository provides access to a massive collection of community-maintained software. For power users who want total control and are willing to learn, Arch feels far superior to Ubuntu's one-size-fits-all approach. Not everyone wants Arch-level complexity, though, which is where Arch-based distros come in. Manero is one of the most popular Ubuntu alternatives for users who want newer software without manual installation pain. Manero offers an easy installer, hardware detection, and a polished desktop while still benefiting from Arch's rolling release model. It delays Arch updates slightly for testing, making the system more stable for daily use. For users frustrated by Ubuntu's older packages but not ready to build everything from scratch, Manero often feels like the sweet spot. EndeavourOS is another Arch-based distro that appeals to users who want something closer to pure Arch, but with a smoother installation process. It doesn't hide complexity as much as Monero does. Instead, it gives you a clean base system and encourages learning. EndeavourOS is fast, minimal, and transparent, making it a favorite among users who outgrow Ubuntu and want to deepen their Linux knowledge without jumping straight into a fully manual install. openSUSE is a distro that often flies under the radar but deserves serious attention. It comes in two main flavors, Leap and Tumbleweed. Leap is a stable, fixed-release distro similar in spirit to Ubuntu LTS, but with enterprise-grade reliability. Tumbleweed, on the other hand, is a rolling release that is remarkably stable for how up-to-date it is. openSUSE YST configuration tool is one of the most powerful system management utilities in the Linux world, allowing you to manage everything from networking to services through a unified interface. For users who want professional-grade tools and flexibility, openSUSE can feel far more capable than Ubuntu. Pop_OS is another Ubuntu-based distro that many users consider better than Ubuntu itself. Developed by System76, it focuses heavily on usability, performance, and workflow efficiency. Pop_OS shines for developers, engineers, and gamers, especially those using NVIDIA hardware. It handles drivers better than stock Ubuntu and introduces thoughtful features like automatic window tiling and streamlined keyboard navigation. While it still inherits some Ubuntu decisions, Pop_OS refines the experience in ways Canonical often doesn't. For users concerned about privacy and minimalism, Elementary OS presents a completely different alternative. It focuses on design consistency, simplicity, and a carefully curated user experience. While not ideal for power users, Elementary OS feels more like a consumer-focused operating system done right. It avoids bloat, respects user data, and provides a coherent desktop environment that rivals commercial systems in polish. For people who want Linux without feeling like they're using a touchy OS, Elementary OS often feels more refined than Ubuntu. Then there are distributions like Void Linux, which appeal to users who want something truly different. Void doesn't use systemed, relying instead on Run It for service management. It's fast, lightweight, and independently developed, meaning it isn't tied to Debian, Red Hat, or Arch. Void attracts users who want full control, minimal overhead, and a break from mainstream Linux design choices. While it has a steeper learning curve, many who switch never look back. Gentoo sits at the extreme end of customization. It allows users to compile their entire system from source, optimizing every package for their specific hardware. This approach is time-consuming and demanding, but it results in a system that is incredibly tailored and efficient. Gentoo is not for beginners, but for users who want ultimate control and deep understanding. It makes Ubuntu feel limiting and opaque. Even lightweight distros like Xubuntu alternatives can outperform Ubuntu on older hardware. MX Linux, based on Debian, is frequently praised for its performance, stability, and excellent tools. It runs well on older machines, avoids unnecessary system complexity, and provides a surprisingly polished experience. For users frustrated by Ubuntu slowing down their aging laptops, MX Linux can feel like a revelation. So is Ubuntu bad? No, but it's no longer the obvious best choice it once was. Linux has matured and so have its users. Today, the best Linux distro depends entirely on what you value. If you want stability and simplicity, Linux Mint or Debian may be better. If you want modern features and clean design, Fedora or Pop_OS might suit you more. If you want control and cutting-edge software, Arch or its derivatives can completely change how you experience Linux. If you want enterprise-grade tools, openSUSE stands ready. And if you want something minimal, fast, or ideologically pure, distros like Void or Gentoo offer paths Ubuntu never will. The real advantage of Linux isn't Ubuntu or any single distro, it's choice. Ubuntu introduced millions to Linux, but it shouldn't be the place where curiosity ends. Exploring other distributions isn't about distro hopping for its own sake. It's about discovering how different philosophies shape the way an operating system behaves. When you find the distro that aligns with your mindset, Linux stops feeling like an alternative and starts feeling like home. If you're still using Ubuntu and it works perfectly for you, that's great. But if you've ever felt constrained, annoyed, or curious about what else is out there, now you know, there are many Linux distributions that, for the right user, are undeniably better than Ubuntu.